I'm Dave Gadlin, co-founder of Enology, e-nology.com, the science of beverage marketing. We're a small marketing firm specializing in social media, representing wine, spirit, craft beer, as well as non-alcoholic beverage companies. We're trying to provide an affordable service to let these small companies infiltrate the social media market that either you haven't had the time to do or don't know how to go about doing yourself. We're going to be hosting weekly webisodes. This is Webisode 1. Welcome. Thanks for having us. And we're going to be talking about wine, spirits, craft beers, and non-alcoholic beverages that we either represent or love. And we'll be talking about brands we don't represent, just for the sheer fact that they're worthy of talking about. So, welcome. Thanks for having us. And again, this is our first episode. What we're going to be tasting today is Diamond Terrace Howell Mountain Cabernet Sauvignon from Napa Valley, more specifically the Howell Mountain AVA, which is an American viticultural area, designated by the TTB, and we won't get overly technical, but it's pretty much the same people that control tobacco control the wine industry in California. Howell Mountain's a really, really special place, and we chose this because this is a place close to our hearts. We spent some time here actually at this property. The property's and the vineyard name is Eagle Summit, up about 2,000 feet above Howell Mountain, outside of Napa, California, on the northeastern side. Howell Mountain, actually more specifically Angling, California, is a really special place. Beautiful, rural, winding roads, and some really special wines come out of Howell Mountain. This vineyard in particular is one we're fond of. Having stayed there doesn't hurt any, and the wines that Maureen and Hal Taylor make are really, really beautiful. So we're going to go ahead and taste the 2005 Howell Mountain Cabernet Sauvignon. While we're opening the bottle, we can talk a little bit about what makes Cabernet Sauvignon and what makes Howell Mountain and what makes Napa Valley, all these terms and places. Howell Mountain is a physical mountain in Napa, California, and Napa is a wine growing region in the middle part of California. If you ever have the opportunity to go, it's a really, really beautiful place. You can plant a seed of anything and it'll grow out there. There's a beautiful saying in Napa Valley: it takes a lot of good beer to make good wine. And we all like good beer and wine. To be called Cabernet Sauvignon in Napa Valley, 75% of the grapes in the bottle have to be from Cabernet Sauvignon. So technically speaking, 25% of the grapes could be Merlot, or it could be Syrah, or it could be Chardonnay if you wanted it to be. More likely, they use more Cabernet in Cabernet, but a lot of Merlots in California may have a little Cabernet blended into them for a little bit of body. You see me swirling the glass around. We've had a little wine already, so pardon the stammering. What we're trying to do is add a little bit of air into the wine, and that gives it the opportunity to open up a little bit faster. The wine's a living, breathing organism. It has a lifespan. So it starts out when you put the cork in it as a baby, and it evolves into the prime of its life, which is when you want to drink it, if at all possible, and it's really hard sometimes. And then it has a steady decline, and then there's death when you have red wine vinegar. You want to drink a wine up here, anywhere a little bit before or a little bit after can be really interesting, but right in the prime of its life is where you want to drink the wine, and hopefully it's pretty close to where we want to be drinking this wine. This is 2005, which is one of the better vintages from California in the 2000 decade. 2002, 2005, 2007 are reputably the better vintages, but a good producer is going to make good wine every year. Diamond Terrace is a really special property. They have two wines that they make: a Diamond Mountain Cabernet Sauvignon from the property they have on Diamond Mountain, and the Howell Mountain Cabernet Sauvignon from the property they own on Howell Mountain. And they make about under 200 cases a year of each of these wines. So really rare, not overly expensive, but really hard to get. So if you're lucky enough to find one, I say drink it. But nonetheless, we chose this wine because it's special to us for the time we spent there at the property, as well as the beautiful wine, and it happens to be ready to drink. So when you're drinking a wine, your nose knows what's going on. You only taste 5 things: sweet, sour, bitter, acid, I'm losing my mind, and umami, which is a metallic taste, just recognized on the tongue. Everything else that you're smelling. You're not tasting. Nothing tastes like blueberries or blackberries or fish or meat. It smells like fish or meat. Your brain translates that into tastes. So when you're sick, don't drink the good wine. You're not going to appreciate it. Don't go to the best restaurants out there when you're sick, because you're not going to appreciate it. It's all about your sense of smell. So when we talk about a wine palate, what we're talking about is a sense of smell. A little sidebar: women scientifically have a better sense of smell than men do. Sorry, guys. So we aerate the wine a little bit. We stick our nose in the wine and see what we can pull out of it. Wine's subjective. Somebody will say, I smell blackberries. You will say, I smell blackberries too. I do smell blackberries. Lots of dried fruits. Currants, cassis. Black, dark, inky, to real. I don't know. I don't think you can see it. I spilled it on the table. But a really deep, dark, rich purple color. Dark chocolate. Really beautiful nose. Really big, elegant wine. A really special Cabernet Sauvignon. Shame to waste it on the table. What are you going to do? So again, being our first webisode, the pressure's mounting, the wine's spilling all over the place. Really big tannin. When you get dryness on the top and the bottom of your mouth, that's from the tannin. On the left and the right of your mouth, that's from the acidity of the grape. When a wine's really showing in the prime of its life and perfectly, everything will be really harmonious. Right now, this wine just being open needs a little time to open up, so I keep aerating the glass. We're going to let it sit for a little bit and come back and taste it a little bit later. But beautiful, long finish, still lingering in my palate, still lingering in my mouth. Again, those dark fruits, tobacco, cigar box, really big, smoky, a little bit of wood, a lot of tannin. The acids right this wine is close to the prime of its life. I think it'll do better in another couple of years, and it'll really stay at that peak of its life for another 5-6 years afterwards, and be really enjoyable for a number of years after. We're going to come back in about an hour or so after this wine's opened up a little bit. We've had a chance to enjoy it. Hopefully we won't be too inebriated to tell you a little bit more about it.